Welcome back to this video series on the installation of Linux, a beginner's guide. And in this video we're actually going to be creating a virtual machine and installing the operating system. So let's go ahead and go over here to our Windows machine, and you're going to see here that we have our VirtualBox installed. We don't have any machines created. And let's go ahead and enlarge this, and we can click the New tab here to add a new machine. So let's click New, and it will bring up the configuration, and we can name this. We'll just name it My Ubuntu for now, and you can name it whatever you choose. You'll see it pre-fills the type and the subtype and the version, and here's the folder where it's going to install our virtual machine. You can change that if necessary. I'm going to leave it, and here's where we'll choose our ISO. So we're going to click Other. We'll navigate to that ISO we downloaded earlier, and now we have it selected, and we can go ahead and click Next. Well, we need to first click this Skip Unattended Installation and then click Next. And here's the RAM. I'm going to leave it at the default, and here is the processors, and I'm going to choose 2. We'll click Next, and now it's going to ask us to create a virtual hard drive, and we could leave that at 25 gigs. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and change it to 40. You can do that too if you have the space. And now we can go ahead and leave everything else alone and click Next. And now we can review our settings and click Finish. And our machine has been added. You can see it's powered off. It doesn't have the operating system installed yet, but we will start that machine up in the next lesson in the next few minutes, and we'll install the operating system to our virtual machine. Now we're ready to start our machine. So press Start, and we're going to begin the installation process. And this is going to start up our new machine we created. I'm going to minimize this, and you can press Enter or just wait. It'll start, and now we're going to let that start our machine up. I'm going to have to minimize that again. Okay, now this will all take a minute. There will be some windows that pop up, and it'll take a minute to get everything started. We just have to be a little patient. And at some point you'll see it come up with something like this, Ubuntu 24, and it's starting our machine. This process may take a little longer, but it should start up in just a minute. And there we see it starting to load our machine. So my screen looks, my display looks a little bit off. That's okay. We're just interested in installing at this point. I'm going to resize my window, and we want to click on this install icon up here, and it will start up the installation wizard, where right now we're just running Ubuntu live in our virtual machine that we created, just as if we had booted into a USB, and we want to choose the install option. So now we see we're going to choose our language. I'm using a laptop that's a little small, so I'm going to have to play around with the slider to see my next button. We'll click Next. And here are some settings that you could, as you can read up here at the top, with accessibility settings, you could set them now or later. We're just going to go ahead and skip this for now, and we're going to choose Next. And now we see the keyboard layout. We're going to leave it set at English and choose Next. And now connect to the internet. And you'll see the option to use a wired connection. It thinks it's on a wired connection. I'm actually on wireless. But here's how would we like to install Ubuntu. There's an interactive installation or an automated installation. If you have an auto install file, we do not. We're going to choose the interactive installation. So click Next. And then there's a question about what apps we would like to install to start with. I'm going to go ahead and choose the extended selection to make sure that we have everything that we need. I generally choose this option and click Next. And then we have an option to install third-party software for graphics, and I'm going to choose that. as well. Click Next. And now it's going to ask us if we want to erase the disk, and we are going to do that. And don't worry, it's not erasing your disk. That's the virtual disk that we created. And now we can create our account. And so we're going to enter a username. You can choose whatever you would like. Computer name and username. And here we're going to enter a password. And I'm just going to choose something simple here for the password. And we're going to need to confirm our password. You'll also see that box to require the password at login. We're going to leave that checked and click Next. So we have our user created. And here we're going to choose our time zone. So it's just you click the map. And I'm going to choose Chicago for my time zone. That's going to be Central. Next. And now we're going to review our choices and click Install. And the installation process is going to get started. This is going to take a little while to install the operating system. And you're just going to have to be patient here and wait. I am going to fast forward the video. I'm going to skip ahead to when it has completed. But just be patient and it will install. Hopefully everything will go well. But it should install in time. So I'll see you when this is completed. And we're back now with our installation having completed. And it's going to ask us if we want to restart, and we can restart now. And we will be ready to use our new Ubuntu installation. And at some point here, you're going to see a message that says to remove the installation media, and press enter. Right there is that message. And I jumped through that pretty quickly. I'm sorry about that. But you press enter and it will proceed with the startup. You should be okay to do that. And it's going to take a little while. You'll see some different screens coming up and resizing, and it's starting our operating system. And this is a good thing. We have our new Ubuntu machine starting up and getting us ready to start learning Linux on our installation. And you'll remember we've been able to install this in a way now that is not too intrusive to our computer. We had to add some software, but we're going to have a brand new, and there we are at our sign-in screen. We can press enter and enter our password, whatever your password you set. Your username, of course, may be different depending on how you set it. And we're going to get signed in here to our machine. Remember, we chose the box to have to sign in. And there's our machine, and it pops up with some little helps here, and we can press next to this welcome screen. And we have an option to enable Ubuntu Pro. We're going to skip this for now. You can see the box checked at the bottom. We're going to click skip. And now you have the option to help improve Ubuntu. I'm going to choose no, don't share system data, and choose next. And then here showing some of our apps, and we can press finished. And now we have our machine completely installed. Congratulations on your Linux machine. I hope that everything went well for you. And I've noticed I've got this little laptop, so I have to scroll down a little to see this. And this is an app icon. We can click on and see the different apps, so you can start playing around with the GUI if you would like. And there's your Ubuntu machine. So there's a few more things we need to do, so please follow along with the next video. And we're going to learn some other things that we need to do to get Linux optimized and up and running and ready to start learning Linux. So thank you. I'll see you in the next video.